Well, hello again. Time is just flying away from us. By now it's July the 1st, 2026. Trump is still somewhat in office, somewhat because he sleeps through a lot of stuff. He has tantrums. He is turning everything, absolutely everything he touches to deck. We have the reflecting pool not reflecting too well. We have the Iran agreement not reflecting anything too well. At least it is not an improvement over what Obama had put in place many years ago, which of course Trump, in his infinite lack of wisdom, decided to shed and undo. And so now we are behind the eight ball with Iran. Thank you, Republicans, for allowing Trump to just run roughshod over you in Congress. But a few Republicans did get their spines stiffened a little. I think they joined Democrats with the War Powers Act, which requires Trump to get permission to bomb Iran. So his hands are pretty much tied at the moment as far as that goes. However, the right-wing Supreme Court is giving him more leeway to skewer our elections, I guess because the right-wingers realize that unless they skewer the elections, they can't possibly win. But even skewering the elections, they are likely to lose because so many rank and file Republicans who are not part of the MAGA conundrum are getting sick and tired of what is happening in Washington. And who can blame them, right? So I had posted a video a couple of weeks ago about a twin flame situation that I have been involved in. And then a little while later, I took the video down again because I had been less than complimentary of my twin flame person. And I really don't want to say anything against her because she is a perfectly lovely human being. We are just operating at slightly different wavelengths right now, and that may or may not change. But if there are any of you out there involved in twin flame dynamics, I would love to hear from you. I find it an exceptionally extraordinary situation to have a soul splitting in that way. Now, all of the Seth material that I have studied, and I have studied a lot over many years, talks about multiple versions of the self. It talks about alternate selves, probable selves, reincarnational selves, um, counterparts. But it doesn't really speak about the soul splitting itself into two different packages. It talks about people splitting themselves once they're incarnated. So I am still digging deeper. I know that Dolores Cannon has done a lot of work looking at the twin flame dynamics. I'm not sure she called it that in her research. There is stuff from Carl Jung about this as well. I'm not sure he called it that either. It has also been called a split soul. But in any event, I'm not quite satisfied with everything that I have learned so far, so I will keep on digging and studying and finding out more about that. In the meantime, please let me know if you are involved in any dynamics like that. I sure would like to hear from other twin flame people out there. And Sedona came and went since my last post. That happened in mid-June, and it was magical. It was quite magical. Sedona itself is actually quite magical. This was not Sedona. This was the next little village over to the left. It's actually called a village. And we were in a yoga studio. There were 80 of us, and the energy was so phenomenal to have that many of us in the same place at the same time. And all of us realizing that we live over and over again, all of us knowing about framework 1 and 2, all of us working on dream recall and dream analysis, and so it just felt so good to be in that energy with others. Um, Hopefully we will do it again. But for now, I'm very grateful for the experience that I got the opportunity to have, and for meeting all those Sethis, for meeting old friends and making some new ones. I appreciated the opportunity to do that. I look forward to connecting with more of you online again. Okay. I wanted to say after my Facebook banishment is completed, but I don't know whether I'll get back on Facebook again or not. I'm kind of enjoying the absence of all of the posts having to do with Trump. It just feels so much better not dealing with that all day long. Although I am still doing the Heather Cox Richardson podcasts to keep myself in the loop on what's happening, and it doesn't look like anything wonderful is happening, except once in a while we get good rulings from courts. So wishing you all a great rest of the week and a good month of July and a wonderful 4th of July. And remember that our pets, especially the doggies, get really, really crazy from all of the rockets going up and things exploding, and they tend to run off and get lost. So please be careful with that. Take good care of your animals. Okay, ciao.